Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Cecilia Benvibre, and I'm the Deputy Program Director for the MSc Sustainable Heritage. Welcome to all of you today. I just want to let you know that we're recording this session for those interested applicants who might not be here today. And you'll also be able to revisit the video afterwards. Okay, so today I'm going to give you a brief introduction to our program, starting with where the program sits, which is the Institute for Sustainable Heritage at UCL. Then we'll go directly onto an overview of the MSc, Sustainable Heritage, and we'll talk about career opportunities for those students who complete the program. I am, as I said, the Deputy Program Director. I am also the Research Director at the Institute for Sustainable Heritage. So I'm happy to engage with you after the presentation on any questions that you might have, either on the program or on the connections to research. Let's go there. So here we have a quote which serves as an umbrella for our work at UCL. This idea that we have the freedom and the courage to question and to think differently. And this is at the very heart of our program, which really looks at heritage in connection with the present questions that we have, the grand challenges that we have as a society, and how can heritage contribute to addressing these challenges and improving everyone's lives. The Institute for Sustainable Heritage, which is the home of the MSc, sits at the Bartlett, at the faculty, the Bartlett, and at UCL. UCL is ranked 9th in the world consistently in this year's university ranking, but it has maintained this leadership for the past 3 years. And the Bartlett is ranked #1 in the world in architecture and the built environment for 2nd year in a row, and remains in the UK #1 position for 10th year in a row. And the Bartlett is where the UK's most world-leading international research for the built environment, internationally excellent built environment research is undertaken. So our research environment and our teaching environment is that of excellence. And as a student at UCL and at ISH in particular, you benefit from this inspiring, cutting-edge environment. Okay. This is an introduction to the Institute for Sustainable Heritage, where our program sits. It was established in 2001 in collaboration between the Bartlett, the Institute of Archaeology at UCL, and the School of Library, Archive, and Information Studies. The founder and founding director, Professor May Kassar, you can see her there in the picture. She was a director for many years and stepped down last year. And our colleague Giuseppe Graubovet, professor now, is now the director of ISH. May still teaches in the program, in particular in term 1, she teaches a module on sustainable strategies for buildings and collections. And then we have the deputy director of ISH, Professor Calliope Fusecchi, who also brings a different expertise to our program. I'll talk a little bit about our expertise in a future slide. So in our website, we say UCL-ISH delivers sustainable solutions to real-world cultural heritage through groundbreaking cross-disciplinary research and innovative teaching for future heritage leaders. So we're an institute where research and teaching are very much intertwined, and they feed and complement each other. As a student at ISH, you have access to an excellent team of researchers and research themes, and our program makes the most of that, both during the teaching terms and especially in the dissertation stage in term 3, where you get to put into practice everything that you've learned, supported by a dissertation supervisor who is also a researcher at ISH or associated with ISH. And this year, we celebrate 20 years of the Sustainable Heritage MSc at UCL. So it's been a year of celebration for us and an opportunity to meet so many of our former alumni who came to an event earlier this year to share how well they're doing, how much transformative impact they have been able to have on their respective fields. Many of them came to London to study and went back to their countries of origin and really had a significant opportunity to lead change in the sector. They're working in museums, in government organizations, in private companies, and all of them maintain a strong connection with our institute. I include here a QR code which you can scan and have a look at our celebratory page for our 20th year anniversary. And there you will also find a lot of testimonials from our alumni and a section called 20 in 20, where we feature 20 milestones of the program in the last 2 decades. So here I'm going to introduce the core team of the MSc in terms of leading the program. We have Dr. Paki Kumar. She is the director of the program today. She couldn't be here today because she's preparing for our students' field trips. But once she was an alumni, a student in this program, she came as an architect and undertook the Sustainable Heritage MSc. Then she went on to do a PhD in Management of Cultural Heritage and joined ISH as a lecturer in 2020. She does research, especially interested in crowdsourcing in heritage and the use of social media in heritage organizations. She's also the mother of a 7-year-old and has several hobbies. And Paki is really the heart of our program. And I'm sure that if you end up studying with us, you'll enjoy meeting her and working with her. Then I'm pleased to introduce my colleague George, who is here with us today. And I think he can do a first-person introduction himself.
Yes, thank you, Cecilia. I'm George, and I'm also part of the team as a deputy program lead. I have a background in archaeology, cultural heritage studies, and heritage management. And I have been very much involved, in my research interests include dealing with museums, critical museology, and critical heritage studies, but also managing both tangible and intangible cultural heritage, with a special interest in things like living religious heritage, food heritage, and I've worked very, very closely with Cecilia on olfactory heritage as well.
Thank you, George. I'm here introducing our other colleague, Dr. Catherine Curran, who's currently on parental leave, but returning with us soon. So you'll meet her if you join our program next year. She has a background in chemistry and started at the Institute for Sustainable Heritage in 2011. She's taught in the program since 2013, so she has a lot of experience both teaching and engaging with our students. And as she declared, she has 2 major passions at UCL. One is supporting students, and the other one is researching plastics. Catherine's research looks at plastic materials as heritage and works with museums to characterize these materials, understand them better, and be able to develop better care for this heritage so it reaches future generations. And then I'm introducing Lola Walton, who is supporting the MSc as education assistant. Lola has a background in languages, in modern foreign languages, and she loves animals, video games, and walks in nature. And as a student of the Sustainable Heritage MSc, you will deal with Lola when you need assistance on practical matters regarding the submission of your assignments or logistics around the field trips, etc. And this is the whole institute of the Sustainable Institute for Sustainable Heritage, starting with Giuseppe and Calliope, whom I introduced before, and then all of our colleagues working. We have professors, associate professors, lecturers, and postdoctoral researchers as well. We are all sharing our passion from heritage, but we come from very, very different backgrounds. So here we have represented engineering, chemical engineering, chemistry, um, history, philosophy, architecture, material science, archaeology, anthropology, and many other disciplines. We are really a cross-disciplinary institute, and this is at the heart of what we do every day. And then we have postgraduate teaching assistants. These are PhD students who provide support for the lecturers in every module. They also assist with the field trips. They are experts at their subject study and their research. So many of our teaching assistants will help you when you are a student in handling instruments, for example, for the scientific study of heritage during the field trips. They will help with the delivery of the classes and accompany us on site visits. Again, they bring a wealth of disciplinary knowledge to ISH. And I'll talk a little bit about the three strands of research at our institute. We are interested in looking at all different kinds of heritage. So we have three main routes for our research: heritage management, heritage policy, and heritage science. They are well reflected in our program in the sense that there are modules looking at all these themes. All this research is cross-disciplinary, so we all do research, conduct research in management, policy, and science. And we encompass a variety of disciplines, as I said before: social sciences, physical sciences, and data sciences. We have colleagues looking at, for example, climate change and heritage, and understanding the risks that climate change poses to heritage organizations and how we can address and mitigate those risks, developing different strategies to deal with these risks. We have colleagues looking at museum collections and understanding the lifetime of these museum collections, working with the management team at museums to understand the value of these objects and spaces that they manage, to develop predictive models to understand lifetimes better. We are interested in heritage materials, as I said, for example, with Catherine's research on plastics, but we also have quite a significant body of research on other materials, such as historic paper from different provenances. We are interested in applying the social sciences to the study of heritage. So we work with communities in different parts of London and beyond to understand how heritage can play a transformative role in their lives and improve their well-being, engaging with their environment, and lead urban regeneration. We also look at the futures of heritage and trying to understand what the potential might be. This is one of the final modules in the program as well, to think about futures and evidence and policy for policymaker making. We look at intangible heritage. As George mentioned, one of our lines of research is around intangible and sensory heritage, in particular, with a team looking at the value of smell in cultural heritage, and how that can lead to new ways of interpreting, understanding, and documenting heritage and engaging with it as well. For our heritage science route and research themes, we have two important laboratory spaces, one in Bloomsbury and one in the East London. Here East is the name of the laboratory. These are the Heritage Science Laboratory, and there we have a wide range of analytical equipment, ranging from analytical chemistry to imaging. So we study material heritage in a very thorough way using heritage science techniques. We also have a range of portable equipment, which we take on field trips. And these are some of the examples that I was mentioning earlier. So Calliope's research, for example, leads on inclusive urban transformation through heritage. And the case of Woolwich is one that students of the MSc get really into. There are two modules that include site visits to Woolwich, engaging with the community, conducting interviews and surveys with members of the community, and writing reports as well as creative outputs. And then I was talking about the lifetimes theme line of research. We have machine learning models for assessing museum object condition as part of this line of research as well. And then this is more on the data science route. And on the heritage science route, we have different scientific techniques like FTIR, spectroscopy for studying the composition of heritage materials and objects and how they degrade over time, and how we can work with conservation teams to develop object care plans and risk assessment to bring them into the future. Okay, so I was saying that we have a holistic approach to heritage, and this is how I want to introduce the Sustainable Heritage MSc. We consider many different types of heritage landscapes, and we have a module on heritage landscapes, trying to understand what is a heritage landscape, what are the different elements that are integrate the landscape, and how can we manage them individually and collectively. We have modules on collections and buildings to understand, again, what forms a heritage collection and how we can manage it, what are the main considerations that we need to have with dealing with buildings and building fabric, digital heritage and intangible heritage. We also have lots of sessions investigating different typologies of heritage and the crossover among them, and how we can manage these complex assemblies. We have many opportunities to encounter breadth and depth. As I was saying, we have these modules looking at heritage from the definition of the typologies, the values associated with them, but also going with depth into the different approaches to managing this heritage and to communicating it as well. And a very distinctive aspect of our program is the opportunity for real-world engagement. We invite external speakers who are leaders in their field to come into our classroom and give you the state of the art on their expertise. We work on case studies, so we work with organizations such as Historic England, the National Trust, the British Museum, and we develop case studies where students get really involved. They do site visits, they look at real world objects, and to understand how we can use heritage approaches to manage them, to communicate them. And then we have dissertations, and in your dissertation, which is a mini research project where you would lead supervised by an academic, we have collaborative options. So, for example, in the past years, students have worked with different museums, historic houses, and policy organizations even, to answer and address research questions that matter in the real world. So in our course, we have 3 different routes. And when you apply as a student, you will have to choose one of these routes. data science, heritage management, and heritage science. So all of these three routes share a lot of modules, so they are taught together. They're modules where all the students from the three routes come together to acquire some foundational knowledge, and these are compulsory. And then there's modules that are route specific, and they equip you, they help you develop essential skills to work in the fields of data science for cultural heritage, heritage management, or heritage science. You're also able to choose optional modules in term two, and these are not route specific, but they provide you with targeted expertise that you can apply to whichever route you're studying. And in terms of the format of our teaching, this is a combination of block and weekly teaching. So for block modules, you would start, let's say, on a Monday and have classes all day, every day till the Friday. And this is ideal, for example, if you're working alongside and you have to take time off to take this course, but also it helps pedagogically to really get into a topic and explore it from different angles and have an opportunity to engage and build this knowledge through the time of a week. And the weekly teaching applies to other modules, so you would have a combination of both depending on the route that you are in, and able to have, pace yourself through the learning and also the assignments. All routes completed dissertation in term three in the summer, and we start thinking about these dissertations early. So in February, March, you will pick a topic, and in April, you will start your research and be assigned a supervisor. And this is an overview of how our program works. You have each different color for each of the different routes. So blue is data science, green heritage science, and orange is heritage management. And you will see that we have some modules that are taught as a block and are foundational, common to all three routes. These are the ones, for example, sustainable heritage management, science and foresight, uh, and sustainable heritage in practice, which is a field trip module. And then you have other modules that are route specific, or they are jointly taken by two different routes, like preventive conservation. And then in term two, you will have again targeted modules for your route and the opportunity to choose optional modules. And we have a selection of 5 modules that you can choose. And then in term in term two, even though you have specialist skills, all routes come together for the policy advice and evidence for heritage module, which is taught again as a block. And then in term three, we focus on the dissertations. So to go a little bit into each of the routes, the heritage management route provides introduction to concepts of heritage and sustainability and how these apply to practical heritage management. It introduces strategies for managing buildings, collections, and landscapes. And each of these will be a module in the route. And then it tackles important questions within the heritage sector, such as energy efficiency, regeneration, community participation, and adaptive reuse. This module is the only one that can be taken entirely through block teaching. As I mentioned, some of our students work full-time, so this is an opportunity to take leave and accomplish this route. The heritage science route is slightly different because it explores the use of analytical techniques such as spectroscopy or chromatography for cultural heritage using the Institute for Sustainable Heritage laboratories. So it puts heritage science in a broader context, thinking about impact, policy, engagement, and with the different stakeholders, industry, heritage organizations, and policy bodies, for example, and communities in general. So in this module, this is a scientific route, and it's focused on students developing knowledge about when and how science can help us understand and care for cultural heritage. However, we welcome students without a background in physical sciences. And the modules are designed to progressively support you in building not only scientific skills, but also scientific thinking. And finally, we have a data science route where we focus on using large and diverse data sets and data analysis tools to understand issues within cultural heritage. For example, we have modules on machine learning, data visualization, statistical analysis, and crowdsourced data in the context of cultural heritage. So this is quite different from a data science program, because we're also always thinking about the wider context and how this knowledge can be used in cultural heritage. And we deal with very different types of data sets: environmental data, social media data, and crowdsourced data. Again, you don't need a data or computer science background for this route. We take students from all backgrounds, but you have to have an interest into developing data science skills. So how do we teach is a question that we often get. We do arranging in-class activities such as discussions, role-playing, lab work, and guided walks. We like to get out of the classroom as much as we can to engage with a wider context. UCL campus is located in central London, and we have plenty of opportunities to go out of the classrooms and engage with real-world heritage. Your participation is crucial in this. We encourage students to develop critical thinking, to express your opinion, to communicate your views, to engage in building a bridge between your background and what you're learning at UCL. We believe that you have a unique point of view that is worth sharing, and we aim to give you the tools and the skills to do so. We understand that discussions can lead to greater learning, and this has been the past experience of many of us as lecturers. We are all learning, including ourselves. We're learning from our students every day. They often have unique experiences that greatly contribute to our classrooms. We will also take on site visits and field trips in many modules, be it a day visit in London itself to go see a heritage site. And here we have an example of the COVID Memorial Wall in London, where students go and measure the color of the hearts to understand how they fade and how we can best protect this heritage and engage with the communities for whom this heritage is meaningful. We also work closely with heritage organizations to offer training that is relevant to the needs of the sector. So you will have that in the classroom. For example, in past years, we've had security experts come and talk about security in museums and galleries and archives. We have live interpretation sessions as part of some of our modules, where you're taken to a site, you're encouraged and provided the skills to develop interpretation skills. So there's a very wide range of skills that you're able to develop during these active field trips. You also would obtain firsthand experience of heritage sustainability, engaging with the community and understanding the impact of different problems or situations that they have to deal with in relation with heritage. And you will interact with site managers, conduct interviews, and collect a variety of data, qualitative and quantitative data. In many modules and classes, we'll also aim to work as teams. Teamwork is an important skill you will develop, and it will be useful for your future career. So we are firm believers in teamwork in this program. We benefit from shared perspectives and understanding, develop new skills, and build confidence. You will also have opportunity to lead some of these teams and build your CV that way for your future career. And you'll also have learned to deal with the diversity of opinions and skills, also to work with people with from very different backgrounds and languages. And all of these will make you a better professional of the future. And also, we're interested in helping you understand how you learn. So we know that there are many learning styles, three predominant, but expressed in many, many ways. So you can learn through a visual route, auditory route, just by listening, or tactile route, hands-on learning. And we recognize that everyone has a unique learning style. We help you identify your learning style, and we're always open to um, tailoring our delivery in order to help you learn the best way we can help you. And there are many quizzes you can take to better understand what's your learning style. So when you come to the program, you can engage with us and we can together work towards the best way you can learn possibly. And then we have to evaluate our work, of course, to give you feedback and help you build on what you're learning. So we have a variety of assignments as part of the programs. We have written assignments. In this program, you develop skills to write essays, reports, and critical reflections. You do individual and group presentations, both to your lecturers and your peers, your classmates, but also you present to heritage organizations, particularly at the end of the field trips, and get valuable feedback that you can take with you for your future. And then we have other alternative forms of evaluating, such as posters. So the design of scientific posters, creative outputs, for example, videos that are developed during some of our modules. On all of this, it's really important for us to share the criteria with which we'll evaluate ahead of time so you can internalize it, understand it, and tailor your assignment to this. And then we offer constructive feedback with detailed and personalized elements to help you learn as well. And as we said at the end of term 3, you will work fully on your dissertation, which you start working on and thinking about at least in term 2. A dissertation means you conduct independent research. It's an independent research project lasting around 4 months with a deadline of the summer. And you can choose a wide ranging topics. So we provide a lot of topics, but also you can bring your own interests and we can help you shape it into a research project. We supervise as an academic team at ISH, but we also work with a wide range of external supervisors who have complementary expertise to us. And then the dissertations often are developed in collaboration with heritage organizations. So you have an opportunity for a one-to-one collaboration with a heritage organization at this time of the program. And these are some of the dissertations that we've supervised recently. We have students working on multisensory experience in heritage sites, so museums who are incorporating sounds and smells as part of their exhibition. And this student in particular wanted to see what the impact this was on the general public, if this novel input helped them learn or engage with history and heritage. We had students evaluating the efficiency of ChatGPT in heritage conservation tasks. Again, we take a critical approach to the use of artificial intelligence, but in this case, it was central to the dissertation topic. We have students examining how climate change may affect visitor behavior at heritage sites. We have conflicted heritage and pilgrims' experiences in Iraq during the war, overheating in traditional buildings, and making sense of corrosion with machine learning. So you can see there's a wide variety of topics and also methodologies that are involved in our dissertation. again, the cross-disciplinarity of our institute is reflected in the variety of dissertation topics and approaches. Many of our students go on and publish their dissertations, either individually or collectively. So this is also a good way to start an academic career if this is what you wanted to do. And what skills will you have at the end? This is quite important, I think, for us to be able to help you understand at the end of this year's study, how will your profile be transformed. So you'll have in management an ability to use your understanding of heritage and economic, environmental, social, and cultural sustainability in practice, in managing heritage sites sustainably. So we look at heritage, as we said, from different pillars, and these are all integrated into developing management plans and strategies for heritage sites. You will have knowledge of sustainable strategies for managing heritage sites, and you will have an understanding of the complexity of real-world heritage case studies and how to make a positive difference to their management. For heritage science, you will complete the program with an understanding of how scientific knowledge and techniques can be used to sustain heritage. You'll have experience using analytical techniques in the care of cultural heritage materials, including building and collection objects. And you'll have an understanding of the broader context in which heritage science sits, its scope for societal and environmental impact as well. And for the data science route, you'll have an ability to understand the role of data and tools for data analysis within cultural heritage. You'll have general data analysis skills, machine learning, data visualization, and statistical analysis. And you'll have an understanding of how data science can be used to sustain heritage. All the routes will help you understand the relationships between heritage and sustainability, will equip you with transferable skills, report writing, presentation experience, and cross-disciplinary team working. Will give you experience in using research methods appropriate to the field of sustainable heritage. And as we said, these research methods are very wide-ranging, from analytical science to data science with social science approaches in between. And you'll have an overview of the heritage sector and skills required to communicate and work with different types of heritage professionals. So we offer also different types of career supports and services at Bezier, which is the faculty where ISH sits in. So you'll have an induction week opportunity to attend talks that are held for each program. You'll also have different opportunities to engage in practical consultancy projects. This was the Bartlett's Building a Better Future was one that is now completed, but there are other opportunities every year. Every year in the spring, we hold a research showcase and alumni meetup where you'll be able to meet your former classmates, and also a selection of dissertation presentations are held in this showcase. You'll be able to access career support from across UCL via UCL Careers. And we maintain a LinkedIn Sustainable Heritage alumni page because we really like to see how our former students are doing. And we are in close contact with many of them. And we engage in either collaborative research on presentation opportunities, etc. And then career paths. So 86.5% of our graduates were in work or further study 15 months after graduation as a result of a survey in the past few years. And many of them are working in heritage organizations, museums, charities, and government bodies. They apply their specialization during within another field, for example, architecture or building surveying, but they come with this heritage knowledge to a different field. And many of our students pursue further research in the form of PhD studies, either at UCL or other organization. And these are some of the career paths that our students have pursued. Consultancy, working with international cultural and museum organizations on different aspects, different departments of museums, working in academia, policy organizations, and finally, different industries. Our program is accredited. All routes are accredited by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, RICS, and the Institute for Historic Building Conservation, IHBC. So this helps you taking a step towards becoming a chartered surveyor and provides access to a global network of built environment professionals. And IHBC accreditation allows students to accelerate their progress to becoming a full member of the IHBC, which is the highest level of our accreditation, reducing the length of the project from 5 to 2 years. So if you're interested in pursuing this accreditation, our program is also provides a significant support towards doing so. And here we have some alumni testimonials, among many others that you will find in the on the website, on this anniversary website, as I previously mentioned. Here we have Natalie saying that one concept that was woven into every aspect of the MSc was sustainable development and the impact that it has on surrounding society. And she goes on to say that this topic provided the perfect bridge between her passion from heritage and a viable career in planning. So here's an example where the heritage knowledge is applied to a different field. Here we have Babesh, who is currently preventive data scientist at the V&A Museum. And he says that he's been using the skills that he learned in the data science route straight away in his role as preventive data scientist at the museum in coding applications for the prevention of damage to museum objects from the climate, insects, light, and other risks. So you can see how we have either you apply them in a different field or you go directly to work in the GLAM heritage sector. Here we have Mark Kearney, who is currently a conservation scientist at the Canadian Conservation Institute. Mark was a student of the MSc and then went on to be a PhD student at ISH. And he particularly appreciated the expertise of the staff in the different fields and the resource that we provide, as well as the laboratory environment, which provided him with a good grounding for his current professional role. And this is the end of my presentation. So thank you so much for listening. And I'm very happy with the rest of the team to take any questions